very pleased that I get to introduce Karen to all of you all tonight. She's such an outstanding representative of our exceptional class of GED graduates this year, our class of 2010. She came to us last September and finished her GED in March. I need to tell you tonight about some of the exceptional qualities that she has. She is one hard worker and devoted to her family and to her church. Karen also has always shared her warm, friendly, and caring personality with all of us, which has meant so much to us every day she's been there. She has a way of making you feel good about each day, which is an incredible quality to have in your life. And she has the ability to see the best in everyone. Karen is now studying at Greenville Tech to be a patient care technician, and she will be a wonderful nurse because of how much she cares about people. It is my honor tonight to introduce Karen. She has a special story to tell you, and it is inspiring.
Where do I start? When I was asked to speak, I was scared. I wanted to turn and run away. I was asked to speak about me. It's not about me, it's about my God and what He has done in me. As a child, I hated school. I would beg my mama not to make me go. I would tell her things like, I'll clean the whole house if I don't have to go. Or, Mama, I'm sick. In my 9th grade year, I dropped out of high school. I became a full-time mother to my stepdaughter, Kayla. I got a full-time job as a waitress. In 1995, I found out I was pregnant. I remember my mother crying. She wanted so bad for at least one of her children to have finished high school and be married before they had a baby. Well, that didn't happen, seeing how I was the baby of the family. I told my mother to give me 2 weeks and I'd be out of her house. I'd have me a car, and I did. In 1996, at the age of 17, I gave birth to my daughter, Katie. In October of that same year, I married the love of my life, Timothy Warren. I don't know where I'd be without him in my life. We have been through many trials together, but God has seen us through every one. He has stood beside me in every choice I've made. In 1997, I decided to go back to school to get my GED. My sister Sandy told me about Alexander Elementary offering GED classes, but after a few weeks, I dropped out. I continued on as a wife, a mother, and working as a waitress. In August of 2000, I gave birth to my daughter, Carissa. Even with 3 girls and a husband, I felt empty. So I decided to go back to school for my GED. I was excited about it this time. My mother told me that if I stuck with it, that she would, when I graduated, she would get me a high school ring. She was trying to encourage me, but I just couldn't stick with it. So I dropped out again. School just wasn't in me. I remember telling myself that I didn't need an education. I had a husband who loved me, I had my beautiful girls, and a job. Many years went by of struggling to make it. As most Americans, we live paycheck to paycheck. In 2006, God blessed me and my husband with a 17-month-old little girl. I remember thinking we couldn't afford another child, but we fell in love with her. People called us crazy for wanting to keep and adopt her. I called her a blessing from God. On August 27, 2007, we legally adopted my 4th daughter, Talia. At one point during the process of trying to adopt Talia, my husband and I was questioned on our ability to give her a good education, since we both dropped out of high school. After giving it some thought, my husband and I both decided that we was going to go back to school and work together to get our GED. But once again, I dropped out. I know this sounds crazy. Not many people get this many chances to go back to school to get their GED and drop out every time. Well, you're looking at it. That all changed last year when I was sitting where you are, watching my niece and niece-in-law graduate. I decided then to give United Ministries a try. Besides, what kind of example was I showing my kids, preaching to them about how much education was important when I didn't have one myself? When I told my mother that I was going to get my GED, she said, "That's good, if you stick with it." That hurt me, but yet also drove me. I was more determined than ever to get my GED this time and to prove to my mama, but mainly myself, that I could do it. I remember going every day of the week, from the time I would drop my kids off at school until the time I had to pick them up to study. United Ministries was different than any other school I'd went to. I had many tutors right there, hands-on, to help me through every time I got stuck or to encourage me to keep trying and not give up. I remember Miss Susan telling me that she didn't know what she was going to do with me because I would want to know that I was right, even though every time I had the answer right. When money was low and United Ministries had to make a cutback, Miss Susan was one of the tutors they had to let go. When I found this out, I cried and I wanted to give up. But I knew Susan would want me to keep going. After studying, so I turned to Miss Janie and Mandy to help pull me through. After studying for 5 months, I was able to sign up to get my GED. I remember leaving the tasting room and crying all the way home because I was so worried that I didn't do good enough. When I went online and my grades were posted that I had passed, I busted out crying because I finally did it. I remember calling my mom and telling her I passed. She asked me why I was crying. I told her that all I ever wanted was for her to be proud of me. I am currently attending Greenville Tech to get my degree as a patient care technician. From there, I plan on working up to an LPN and go on to be an RN. So if there's anyone out there who wants to go back to school, give United Ministries a try. In closing, I would like to take the time to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart at United Ministries, my family, my church family, and friends, most of all, my God, for being there every step of the way. You truly are amazing. God bless you all.